Hello and welcome to TVC Media News. We begin with a report that a two-story building has collapsed in the Orile Igomu area of Lagos State. But we would like to warn that the pictures in this report may be found disturbing, and viewers' discretion is advised. This video posted on social media captured the moment the story building collapsed, with some occupants and onlookers scampering for safety. Emergency responders say all occupants had evacuated the building before the collapse and no life was lost. The agencies LRT, alongside Lagos State Fire, LAPSCA, and Nigeria Police Force, are responders at the scene with recommendation of evacuation of the site to avert secondary incidents. Further assessment has been conducted at the scene on the adjoining two-story building, which reveals that the building is distressed and inhabitable for occupants. This is a developing story, and we'll bring you updates in our subsequent bulletin. Let's turn attention now to politics. It appears the last is yet in the leadership tussle facing the People's Democratic Party. Factional acting chairman of the party, Yayari Mohammed, says he has assumed his position as the leader of the party. In a statement on Sunday, Mr. Mohammed says the party has failed to live up to expectation as a main opposition party, but assured that the party under his leadership will act within the confines of the rule of law and constitution of the party. The factional chairman explained that his assignment is to restore confidence of party members by immediately commencing the process to hold the National Executive Committee meeting already scheduled for 24th of October. You'll recall that a faction of the party suspended the acting chairman, Umaru Damagun, just as another faction announced the suspension of the publicity secretary and legal advisor of the party. Now, reactions have continued to trail the developments in the People's Democratic Party. The spokesman of the Opposition Lawmakers Coalition, Ikenga Ugochiri, says the decision of the factional acting chairman of the PDP to commence work immediately shows he understands the need to urgently reposition the party ahead of the 2027 election. He believes that this development will rekindle hope among members of the party. Mr. Ugochiri assured that the party's lawmakers will support his resolve to ensure a rapid reform of the PDP. Meanwhile, the former National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Kola Ologbodeyan, insists the suspension of Umaru Damagun remains, and Mr. Ologbodeyan featured on TVC news program Politics on Sunday, where he explained that the party's constitution must be adhered to, especially with regards to guidelines on succession.
In the time-tested rule of the PDP, where a national chairman comes from, or where any officer of the party comes from, if there is a vacancy, Section 47(6) of the PDP Constitution 2017 states that the replacement shall come from where the person who has left the office comes from. So we say, okay, Damagun, revert to your position and allow the North Central to assume its rightful place. The man started carrying party to court too. The National Working Committee, where he presides, he took it to court. The Board of Trustees, he took it to court. The National Executive Committee of the party, he took it to court.
We're staying with politics. The Lagos State chapter of the Labour Party has held a meeting to discuss the future of the party. The focus was also on unifying party members in the state and addressing pressing internal issues ahead of elections. Olamide Adeyemi has more details.
The Labour Party is faced with leadership tussle, which is threatening its existence and may significantly impact its performance in the off-cycle elections if not properly managed. Over the years, the party has been engulfed in internal wrangling with factions competing for its soul. Observers say the current struggle for control and influence among key figures and stakeholders has led to a climate of uncertainty and instability. Stakeholders at the Lagos State Labour Party meeting say they have learned from the mistakes of the past ready for the next election cycle.
There is no political party that does not have one issue or the other. Politics is a contact sport. You see what's happening with the APC even, you see what's happening with the PDP. And so we have things going on in Labour Party. But what's important is that we are willing to come together. We are willing to have a political solution to whatever issues that we are having. Because every time you are hearing about Labour Party recently, it's in a negative light, as if we are always fighting. But no, today we are not fighting. We are happy, we are together, we are celebrating. And that is the idea of what we are doing here today.
The labour movement workers have not really felt connected with the party in itself. We felt like we've been actually pushed out of the workings and the internal goings on in the party. And that's why even our members couldn't really, move on with the party. But I hope that this will be able to galvanize people and we can all look together as Nigerians, as people with a common future, to look at what can really work for the people.
The evidence and the participation in the last general election is a clearer indication to that effect. Where somebody joined a party on a particular day and that same day his voice is louder, his voice is heard, and that is the kind of Nigerian we are hoping for.
Interim National Coordinator of the Obedient Movement, Peter Tanko, says the party is hoping to take advantage on the political rivalry in other states to form a strong support for the party.
We want to make inroad in all the 36 states of the Federation. So what is happening in Rivers State is an opportunity for us to be able to build that particular critical mass that can challenge for governance, good governance, particularly for this country.
Labour Party members say they still have faith in the people's choice and are willing to resolve their differences and position themselves for the next election. Olamide Adeyemi, TVC News, Lagos.
In other news, Air Peace has responded to the latest legal charges filed by U.S. authorities against its chairman and CEO, Allen Onyema, and Chief of Administration and Finance, Ejiroge Nyegaga. The airline, in a statement released on Sunday, emphasized that the allegations remain unproven and reiterated the presumption of innocence for both executives. The airline explained that these charges are part of an extended legal process stemming from earlier accusations of financial misdeeds, emphasizing that while the charges have been expanded, both Mr. Onyema and Mrs. Nyegaga remain innocent until proven guilty. Air Peace also reassured the public that its operations will continue without disruption. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia had on Friday, October the 11th, filed a superseding indictment accusing Allen Onyema and Ejiroge Nyegaga of submitting falsified documents to obstruct an ongoing investigation into the activities. Let's take a break now. When the news returns, we'll have more stories. Stay with us.
Sometimes it's the story